Alright, this might be the best angle I've had all year. Wait. Don't fuck it up, David. Stupid. Wow. Look at this, guys. Look at this, boys and girls. Wow, this thing is... I'm low-key far. Thumbnail. What's up, y'all? Hope you've been doing well. I'm loving this camera angle. It is beautiful. Hope you guys can see the scenery behind me. There are turtles right there, so... we have a special guest for today. But, as you saw from the title of the video, it is what it is. I think this... So, on a scale of consciousness, which I've talked about before, there's calibrations, and this is closest to truth, or what it resonates with the most, right? So let's say it's 500, that's love. Let's say it's 540, that's unconditional love. Let's say it's 600, that's peace. 700, past that, enlightenment, whatever. Don't mean to get too tech, but the phrase "it is what it is," it calibrates really high because I think it's like 540, even plus that. Everything around us is happening simultaneously, and we really don't have any control of what happens. And so if we just accept that it is what it is, then there isn't any attachment or trying to control or trying to hold on to attachment, things that happen or things that might happen. It just is what it is. And I believe this is one of the best ways you can live in life. And I've noticed lately that a lot of things I talk about, I myself, I'm still learning and teaching myself to implement those same teachings. Because the ego is really, really tricky. It wants you to live in your head. It wants you to live in that reality it creates inside your head when it creates random scenarios or random fantasies or negative emotions, negative patterns, trying to control, predict. And in those times, you need to really just stand still. Allow these things to come up and just overall learn to accept that you aren't your thoughts, you aren't your emotions. I'm getting kind of off topic. Let me reframe it. So the ego likes to bring up past results a lot. It likes to use past experience to predict what might happen in the future and or attach itself to things and make you live in the past, okay? We can go in examples, whether it's with just anything that happened in the past. Your ego tries using that evidence, that result as evidence, to predict what might happen in the future. It also likes to try twisting the narrative. It also likes trying to make you feel right or give you power or maybe even have a payoff of it. And what a payoff is the ego likes to make you feel guilty or any negative feeling to give itself life. It thrives off of your negativity. That's how it lives. That's what it feeds off of. And of course you can think of it as like the devil, but don't create that internal battle within yourself that hates this ego, because then it will just give it way more life, because hatred is negative. And so learning to let go of things that happened in the past, learning to let go of things that might might define who you are as a person. Let's say, all right, so I was rewatching my last clip and I kind of wanted to give another example because my other example didn't really work out. So let's say I get fired from my job, right? And that door closes. The saying "it is what it is" will take you so far, because then you're now just waiting for what God has for you next. You're not clinging on to the past. You're not trying to control. You're not trying to predict. You're just saying it is what it is and taking it one step at a time. Living in this present moment and controlling what you can control. And overall, your attitude, your state of mind, and where you're at in your mind, like internally, is what you can't control. And so, if you let go of all those external pressures, external things that might be giving you pressure. I keep saying the same thing twice. But yeah, letting go of all those external pressure and just relying on God and His plan, having faith in His plan, having trust in who He is, then you can live life like that. If something bad happens, it is what it is. I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And now, of course, this is much easier said than done, but it's possible. You really can just accept that things happen. Everything happens for a reason. Everything's happening for you, not to you. That's something I really want you guys to emphasize in your life, that whatever happens, it is what it is, and it's happening for you. It's not happening to you. That thing isn't happening just because it wants to bring you down. It's happening for your own good. You just have to be willing to find the gift within every single tragedy, quote unquote, every single bad thing. And I believe that's a part of the game of life, you know? Being okay with what happens regardless of how bad it may look or bad it may seem. Knowing that God has a good plan for you. Knowing that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's how you ultimately let go of wanting to control, wanting to predict, and wanting to live in your head, because now you'll have evidence that as long as you let go, as long as you just continue to say it is what it is, God has a better plan for me, God has a great plan for me, I'll figure it out when it comes to you, then you can live life like that. Any other external problem, regardless how big or small it is, you could say the same phrase. It is what it is. You know, something but better will come. And it comes with having faith. It comes with keeping a strong and stable mind. And now don't get me wrong, there are going to be times where you get tested. You know, there are going to be times where you're like, well, why did this happen? You know, like, I don't understand, God. Or you might even just get pissed off at the end of the day. And I want you guys to learn, use those times where you do get tested, you do fall off, you do go back into your head as an opportunity for you to grow. It's a weak point, okay? Your mind, your body is trying to tell you, hey, you're focusing on this because you're weak in it. So accept that this is one shoe and move on. So you can remain still, you can remain steadfast and live in this present moment and not live inside your head. That's something I want to emphasize for this week for myself. I believe there were some external things that were out of my control, and it took over my mind for a little while. I started overthinking. I was like, well, why does this person think of me in this way? Why do they have to react this way? You know what? I'm not a bad person. And overall, it just came down to, like, one, I can't have everyone like me. If they don't like me, it is what it is. And two, I took it as an opportunity for me to grow. Now I understand that anytime someone has something against me, it is what it is. You know, I just gotta accept it and not really care what they think, because I know who I am. I know how my heart is. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna be ignorant, and if they do say something that, you know, I could take an account for, they're like, man, David, you know, you should probably I don't know, brush your teeth more. And I'm not gonna take it offensively and be like, you don't know the fuck you're talking about, da-da-da-da. Then yeah, maybe I'll brush my teeth some more. I do, trust, I do. Just an example. And so, of course, there's obviously constructive criticism. Maybe people actually are doing it out of a genuine love. But most of the time, someone judges you or anything like that, it's an illusion about how they feel about themselves. My friend, I always make fun of my friend because we're always so quick to point fingers. Like, you know, you're being so lazy. And when you're pointing a finger, you're pointing one finger forward, but you're pointing 3 fingers back at yourself because you think you yourself is lazy. And it goes like that with anything. Whenever I judge someone on something, I realize I'm judging myself the same way, and I'm just not accepting it. I'm not taking accountability for it. But yeah, that was a little off topic. But yeah, hopefully this message found you well. Being able to live this peaceful life, this life on easy mode. And yes, this video is a little more surface level, but I did get into in-depth detail of what this ego likes to do. And honestly, if you live by this, you can get past a lot of things, you know? I'll teach you real quick. I kind of mentioned it before, how to let go of emotions, how to let go of feelings, and let go of these external things. But just a little quick rundown to give for you guys. First, awareness. You got to be aware of these negative emotions, negative patterns, reactions, etc. And accept it. Allow it to be inside your body. Allow that negativity. So when I had that person who didn't really accept who I was, or not accept who I was, but didn't like me because of whatever, I had to sit with that, like, anger, that hatred, honestly. It was a bunch of human natural instincts that I got pissed off. And so I sat in meditation. I allowed those feelings to be there, and I simply I just breathed it out. I just let go of that anger and breathe in love, joy, peace, happiness, forgiveness, humility, etc. And as I was able to do that, I truly felt God's peace. I truly felt God's presence, and I was able to let go of it. And that's what a lot of people do. There's a really big misconception. When you are feeling an emotion, when you are thinking about things you don't want to think about, we fight it, we resist it, we push it away, we run away, but you have to allow it to sit in your body and not worry about it, you know? Accept that it's trying to get out your body. Every feeling and thought is a wave. It's not going to be there forever. You want your feelings, you want your thoughts. You're simply just observing them. And that's how you get rid of it. But yeah, that's how you ultimately let go of emotions. Yeah, so there's a whole school of kids coming around playing, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is my time to leave. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching this video. And yeah, if you have any questions about what I was talking about, I might have cut off at a random time, but I think I finished my little rundown of how to let go of emotions and who we truly are. So yeah, feel free to follow. Hopefully I answer all the questions. Obviously, if you have any more, you can hit me up on Instagram, or you can leave a comment down below and I can make a video off of it, or just text me and I can answer the questions there. But yeah, God bless, hope all is well, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.